Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I would share with you some underrated Criterion films. Since the Criterion sale is still going on at Barnes & Noble, a 50% off sale. What does underrated mean? To me, underrated means that these are films that I don't at least see too many people talking about in videos and in other places. And so these are just the ones that I consider to be underrated. But certainly, as I'm going through these, feel free to leave me a comment and let me know what films you feel are underrated in the Criterion Collection or any other underrated films that you might think of. But these are just a few that I may have talked about a few of these in some other videos, but I thought I would put them all together in one video, and I only have really 5 titles right now. I could have picked a lot more, but I just picked a few to talk about today. And the first one I'm going to show, which I think I've shown in another video before, is the first Criterion that I ever picked up, and I just noticed today all of these things I'm going to show, all these films today that I'm going to show you are still available from Criterion, and they have not gone out of print to my knowledge. So this is the first Criterion I picked up, and I highly recommend it. I just love this. It's called Fishing with John. I wish there was a Blu-ray of this, but this is spine number 42 from the Criterion Collection. It's a DVD. There's the back, and of course it has a few extra features on here. All 6 complete episodes. These are episodes with John Lurie, and John Lurie obviously is going on fishing trips with a lot of folks here, which include Matt Dillon, Tom Waits, Dennis Hopper, Jim Jarmusch, and it's really interesting conversations, interesting video. The whole film to me is great. And let's see, there's also a music video by John Lurie and the Lounge Lizards on here, a commentary for each of the episodes from writer, director, and musician John Lurie. So highly recommend this one. And there's also a series on Max, which I believe has 3 seasons. I don't think it's going to get renewed for, well, I know that it did not get renewed for another season, but there's also a series called Painting with John, which I really like, which is basically just John Lurie doing some painting, telling stories, doing skits. I just love it. It's one of my favorite things on Max right now. So if you have HBO, if you have Max, check that out. It's really great, and you'll get a sense of it has a very similar vibe to Fishing with John, but I thought I'd recommend this one. Again, it's on DVD, but you can still get it, and it's very underrated. I don't hear a lot of creators talking about this particular film, but I just love it. The next one up is one I've talked about on the channel before as well, and it's one of my absolute favorites, which I watch at least once a year, and this would be a film directed by Louis Malle called Vanya on 42nd Street. I love the cover art here on this one. And this happens to be spine number 599 from the Criterion Collection, and it is a film from 1994. It's 119 minutes, and it is. I'm just going to read a little bit of the back here. In the early 90s, theater director Andrei Gregory mounted a series of spare private performances of Anton Chekhov's Uncle Vanya in a crumbling Manhattan playhouse, and that's basically what it is. They put up a production of Uncle Vanya in an old playhouse, and if you get, you can also get this in a box set format, which I also checked this morning is still available. And this is the Andrei Gregory Wallace Shawn 3 films set, and this also has My Dinner with Andre, which if you don't have that is very good, and also a Master Builder, which is also good. And there's the back of that with all the extra features on here too. You can see how many extra features are on the box set. But if you just wanted to try it out to see if you liked these films, this is a good one to start with, I believe. And there's extra features too where they talk about the fact that Wally Shawn and Andrei Gregory and the team of actors would get together and just do readings of classic plays over and over again for years in many cases, and they would be so well rehearsed and so well understood that it made sense they could easily do these types of productions, and they're so well done. I love Chekhov as a playwright, and I think this particular production is really well done. I love to watch it. This is a great time of year to watch it as well. This has some extra features also. There's a new documentary featuring interviews with Andrei Gregory, the play's director, the actors in the film. I'll show the inside as well. You can see this beautiful booklet on the inside. But I just love these films. And again, you can start with this one and then maybe pick up the box set if it interests you. My Dinner with Andre, again, one of my favorite films. I love putting on that film. and it's just wonderful to see. Next up, I was watching the Todd Haynes Criterion Collection Closet video, which is up. I think it's a recent one. I really like Todd Haynes as a director, as a person. And one of the early films from Todd Haynes is this movie, Safe, which I don't hear a lot of people talking about, with Julianne Moore. This is spy number 739 from the Criterion Collection. There's the back of that one also. This movie, I'll read a little bit here. Julianne Moore gives a breakthrough performance as Carol White, a Los Angeles housewife in the late 1980s who comes down with a debilitating illness. Very, very well done performance from Julianne Moore. I love also, if you get a chance to see the Todd Haynes Criterion Closet video, he talks about a lot of his influences, a lot of favorite films. There's also an interview with him on the Letterboxd YouTube channel, which is also very good, where he talks about a lot of his influences for the current film that he has out May, December, as well as some of his other films. So highly recommend this one. Again, you can still get this one. It's still available from the Criterion Collection. This next one too, I really don't hear a lot of people talking about this one, and this is a film by Laurie Anderson called Heart of a Dog. And I just absolutely love this movie. It's really great. It's spy number 846 from the Criterion Collection. And there's the back of that one with extra features. And again, I'm going to read a little bit of this. This is a film from 2015, 75 minutes, fairly short. Heart of Dog marks the first feature film in 30 years by multimedia artist Laurie Anderson. A cinematic tone poem that flows from a sustained meditation on death and other forms of absence. The film seamlessly weaves together thoughts on Tibetan Buddhism, reincarnation, the modern surveillance state, and the artistic lives of dogs. I love dogs. And so this is a great film to have. I love the artwork on this also. We'll show a little bit of the inside. Again, very artistic there too. I love Laurie Anderson, who was with Lou Reed for many years too. I'm a big fan of Lou Reed. And that one, finally, I'm going to talk about this film, which I haven't talked about in a while, but I love the films of Abbas Kiarostami, and this is his final film called 24 Frames, which, again, highly recommended. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. I think it's really underrated, but it's a great final film. All of the Abbas Kiarostami films, including the Coker trilogy and all of the films, I really love. I'm a huge fan of Kiarostami, and I might do maybe a series of videos on Kiarostami at some point. This one is spy number 956 from the Criterion Collection. It is a film from 2017. I'm going to read a little bit of the back of this. For what would prove to be his final film, Iranian director Abbas Kiarostami gave himself a challenge to create a dialogue between his work as a filmmaker and his work as a photographer, bridging the two art forms in which he has dedicated his life. So these are basically, Kiarostami selected 24 still images, which is why it's called 24 frames. Most of them stark landscapes inhabited only by foraging birds and other wildlife, and digitally animated, each one into its own subtly evolving 4.5-minute vignette, creating a series of poignant studies in movement, perception, and time that is also a sustained meditation on the process of image making. I really like this one. Again, very meditative, great for this time of year. One of my favorite films from Kiarostami. This also has a new interview with director Abbas Kiarostami's son, who helped finish the film after Kiarostami passed away. There's a new conversation between film scholar Akrami and film critic Godfrey Cheshire, and a new short documentary. Lots of extra features on this one too. And I'll just show the inside. Kiarostami, of course, a photographer also. But really great film. So those are some underrated films from the Criterion Collection, with the Criterion sale still going on until the 4th of December. Let me know in the comments below if you have a specific underrated film from the Criterion Collection, maybe that isn't talked about a lot, maybe one of your favorites that nobody talks about. That would be great. I love recommendations. So feel free to leave me a comment below, and let's keep the dialogue moving there. Thanks so much for watching this video today. If you like this video, click on like. If this is your first video on the channel, please consider subscribing. That would be awesome. I sincerely hope that everyone is safe and well, and I'll talk to you soon.